So you're writing a character moment and you don't want it to suck. Well, I'm Vexed Viewer, and in this video, we're going to talk about character moments and what makes a good one. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so what are character moments? Character moments are simply moments that define character. They help us to know who the characters are. They come in all shapes and sizes. It could be something as simple as a smirk or a gesture. It could be an action, a conscious decision to make a change. Or it could be a long-winded monologue. It could be a lot of things. The moment should expose something about the character, putting it on display for everyone to see. This is where you bring your characters to life. The better the character moment, the more attached the viewer becomes. These should be character highlights, but sometimes they leave much to be desired. Typically, a character moment doesn't work for two reasons. Either it comes out of nowhere, or it goes nowhere. Moments that are out of character or don't make sense within the arc will take you out of the story. And if the moment doesn't inform the character or the story, why is it even there? Character moments should never feel out of place or forced. They should flow within the story. Now, say you have a character moment that works for the most part, but you want it to be good. This particular character moment is a big deal and you want it to stick with the viewer. You want it to have emotional resonance. Well, there are several things you can do. Let's just run off some of them. You can make it a moment of change. If it's a moment of change for the character and the change is upheld, chances are we won't forget about it because the moment brought about development. And if we care about the character, we'll feel something. The moment could double as payoff. If you properly set it up earlier in the story, we'll be thrilled when the moment comes and it will stick with us. Tie it to a conflict. That could be external, internal, or both. Tap into the character's past with a character moment. Bring that backstory to the forefront in a way that's interesting, rather than just telling us who that character used to be. A lot of shows will just show us a flashback, and that's fine. Just make sure it's relevant. Tie the moment to a major decision or action, to the themes, to the overarching narrative, or even to another character's journey. The more tie-ins, the better, as long as they all make sense, of course. Shine a light onto your characters from different angles so we can see who they really are. Okay, now let's look at an example. Let's head on over to the anime Jujutsu Kaisen, episode 23, The Origin of Obedience, part 2. There's a character moment for Megumi that I want to talk about. During a fight with a dangerous cursed spirit, Megumi recalls training with Gojo Sensei.
This is unusual. You rarely ask me to train you, Megumi. Are you trying to catch back up to Yuji?
During the flashback, we hear Gojo tell him that his abilities and potential is on par with Yuji.
I want to make sure that the people I know all have a chance at a proper death.
The main protagonist of the show. But there's a problem. Gojo thinks that Megumi is holding himself back.
Listen, Megumi. I think you have just as much ability and potential as Yuji does. You don't know how to bring out your best, do you? The only thing holding you back is your mindset.
Huh?
Megumi doesn't have a winning mindset. He's always in his own head, and he's ready to sacrifice himself when the going gets tough. Gojo wants him to swing for the fences and go for the win in life. That's the only way he's going to become the best version of himself.
You can't imagine a stronger future version of yourself. Maybe that's because of your trump card. You believe that in the worst case, you can resolve everything at the cost of your life. Dying to win and risking death to win are completely different. Give it your best. Be greedier.
When Megumi comes to, he decides to not sacrifice himself and goes for the win.
Oh, what the hell?
He lets loose and pushes himself past his limits.
Just push it out as soon as I collect the cursed energy. Imagine a future version of myself who's freely surpassed my limits. Oh, I can do that! Domain expansion! Chimera Shadow Garden! It's incomplete, and it's ugly work at best.
Let's just stop right here. I don't need to see how this fight ends. I don't need to see another frame. This is a great character moment. Why? Well, it's certainly memorable. A character that we care about made a conscious decision to change. They also utilize a flashback. I'm talking about the flashback within the flashback.
For example, in the ball game, why did you lay down that sacrifice bunt? Was it to advance the runner, even though it meant that you'd be out?
They call back to the baseball game our heroes participated in 2 episodes ago.
Yuji would always go for a home run, and so would I.
Gojo uses the baseball game that you, the viewer, thought had little to no significance to illustrate the difference between the mindset of Megumi and Yuji. It's fantastic. Do we have conflict? Of course. We have external conflict, the special grade spirit that is very much relevant to the overarching narrative. The moment is also payoff. Before Megumi decides to go for the win, he recalls what Sukuna, the main antagonist, said to him back in episode 5.
Kind of a waste of your talents. One thing I don't get. Why did you run back then?
Sukuna sees the same potential Gojo sees. This is why he's interested in him.
Doesn't matter to me. Aside from him, I truly don't care.
Sukuna's words have been echoing in his mind the whole season, and this is the payoff.
There's just one thing I don't get. Why did you run?
Do I have the potential to beat special grades? Is that what he meant by that? Oh, what the hell?
You could argue he's motivated by Sukuna's words more so than Gojo's. Really good stuff. The cool action sequence that follows is just icing on the cake. No one is going to forget this moment. Well done. Now, I'm calling this moment great without knowing if they're going to carry this development into the next season. This moment came late in the season, so I'm trusting the writers here. I assume this moment will have a lasting impact on the character. If I watch season 2 and they pretend like this moment didn't happen, it will cease to be great. So, whether it's a point of change or just a show of who they are, character moments are best when they are hidden within the story. They are not detours. Don't let them feel random. If you want us to care about your characters, the moments where you highlight what makes them who they are should have connective tissue. Make them matter. Okay guys, that's it for this video. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more. What are your favorite character moments? Let me know in the comments below. Later guys.